I just want to take you through the candidates and why this is crucial this time. Multiple options for people of Jammu and Kashmir this time. PDP's Iltija Mufti from Bijbehara Anantnag. There's Wahid Para of PDP from Pulwama. These are some of the big candidates. Of course, there are multiple options there. There's CPM's Mohammad Tariq. There is Congress Party's GA Mir, again from Duru in Anantnag, representative of the NC Congress Alliance. There's PDP Sartaj Madni, Abdul Viri, NC Sakina too. And Jammu also has DPAP. You remember Ghulam Nabi Azad has come in. There's Apni Party of Altaf Bukhari. There's Engineer Rashid, not today, but Engineer Rashid has been a lot of chatter, definitely, in conversations as well. And that is why, will these options help? Will there be a new face coming in? Or will the people trust the old leadership of JNK, and that's NCPDP Congress possibly? I want to now bring in the leaders representing those parties. Dolly Sharma from the Congress, Charu Pragya from the BJP. Ladies, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Charu, I want to come to you first because it was very interesting to see the BJP cadre in South Kashmir that they are putting forth these candidates. Then there's Jammu region, but there's also a concern. And I hope the BJP is not taking it lightly, Charu, that in Lok Sabha, earlier in 2019, they had 3 out of 6 seats. This time, they won 2 out of 5, 2 won by National Conference. That means, even for Jammu region, BJP cannot take its voters for granted. Why do you think this morning is special for JNK?
Good morning. Let me begin by urging the people of Jammu and Kashmir to go out and vote. Today is a very special day. This is the first ever election for becoming an MLA after the abrogation of Article 370, and this is the beginning of how well that region can be doing depending on your vote. So if you haven't voted yet, it is my earnest urge, please go out and vote and exercise your right to vote. Please fulfill your duty. I think saying that taking voters for granted is something that BJP has ever done is wrong, because there is no person, no citizen of the country who's ever taken for granted. We are very serious about bringing development to every corner of this nation, and that stands true most for Jammu and Kashmir as well. It has been on our agenda, on our manifestos repeatedly, to bring a better life to the people of this region, and we started that with the abrogation of Article 370. At the end of the day, it is the will of the people who they want to choose as their leaders. So if we look at 3+3 or 2+5, that becomes secondary. What is primary is that people are able to safely go out and vote. Every time I see Kashmir Valley decked out to celebrate a national festival, or having a tricolor decorating their streets, it fills me with pride. And this is what we have got to the region, this safety to talk about your identity. This scenes from Lal Chowk have been wonderful to see. And then, like I said, the result of these elections is going to be that the people have chosen their leaders. We have fielded grassroots leaders in every single region, and I believe in the last couple of years we have shown our goodwill to the people. We intend to do very well.
All right, Charu, we'll see how this goes. Eventually, the voter will decide. We are constantly getting reactions on the ground, and it's very heartening to see. Remember, people of Jammu and Kashmir, whether it's Jammu region, border areas, plains, valley, they've seen a lot of conflict. And perhaps every time they vote, and I want to reiterate what people have told me on the ground, they want to vote, they want to elect their leader, but they also realize each time they vote, the votes are taken and the doors are closed. Perhaps that's when whoever is elected this time must remember there is a responsibility not just to win the elections. Dolly, I come to you now. BJP, as you heard, is going all out, even in Kashmir, which they didn't have a presence earlier, to campaign. They have the cadre on the ground. But there is a National Conference Congress Alliance that's also united this time. And many of those seats are this time in South Kashmir, where the alliance is contesting. What do you think is the reason that people are coming out in large numbers saying we want to vote? What do you think are their issues?
First of all, I would like to congratulate the people of Kashmir that today this is the day when they can go out and vote. The rights which this BJP has taken away by taking their statehood and degrading them and making Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh a UT. So today is the day when the people can go out and vote for their rights, elect their own government. They'll have their own representatives who they can take their issues to address. Their issues can be addressed. And secondly, what people of Kashmir and Jammu are watching these days is the second highest unemployment in this country. Also, the voice of people in Jammu Kashmir is being suppressed. They are not able to, raise their issues too. So today is the day. Today is the day for them. And I think very wisely they will choose who they want to vote to. And I think that the outsiders, those who are being allocated their land, resources, jobs, while the locals grapple with rising prices, high taxes, water shortages, poor electricity supplies, and excessive billing through smart meters, many issues needs to be addressed. And they will have their own government now, who they can raise their issues to, and actions can be taken on. So today
here
is the
will
day.
be. I get your point. But will they vote for an older party that is an established party, or will they want a change? So there is, as I've been saying, a fight for relevance for our netas, and then there's a fight for change as well by the new candidates who've come up. I don't think Jammu and Kashmir and its public has had so many options in all these decades. I just want to reiterate to the viewer. So there is NC Congress Alliance, then there's the People's Democratic Party, then there is the Apni Party, then there is the AIP of Engineer Rashid, then there is a People's Conference of Sajjad Lode, there are independent candidates and many more in case I've missed. And that perhaps is a reflection that it's loud. Jamaat-e-Islami is participating in elections, so a lot of changes have definitely happened. And I want to go across to the reporters if they're still on the ground, if Fareed and Sunil can hear me. Fareed, I come to you right now. What is your assessment of what this election means for J&K? People are already coming out in numbers and we understand that. But why do you think that people, are they waiting for a change? Are they waiting for a leader? Because there's so much chatter about who's out there, who's contesting why. And stay on with me because Ashraf Wani is also joining us. Ashraf, you sent us this ground report from Pampore, which is the largest saffron cultivation, and there are concerns for people there. South Kashmir, Ashraf, you've seen some of the worst days there. People are out there to vote. Why in large numbers?
Absolutely, Pooja. Basically, you have extensively visited all districts of South Kashmir in the recent days, and you have seen the mood among the people and the issues also. And this clearly indicates the coming out of people from their homes to cast their vote, particularly in the South Kashmir, which was known for 3 decades for very low turnout of the voters. Only few handful people were coming out to vote, and the people had almost lost their interest in the leadership, in the governments. Now, this time, when the Election Commission of India is making these elections very transparent and all the voices are being allowed to contest in these assembly elections, that has brought out the enthusiasm among the voters. You can see behind me, this is one of the polling booths here in the Pulwama district, and since early in the morning, 6:30, we are seeing these kind of queues. Not only the men, old men, but young girls, young women, also the young youths who want to elect their candidates so that something better can went in the future for them. We have with us one of the young voter. We will talk to him that what are the main issues these voters here in the South Kashmir have, particularly in the Pulwama district, and also what are the problems they really face in the absence of any popular government in the Jammu and Kashmir.
सबसे पहले आपका खैर मकदम है कि आपने यहाँ पे तशरीफ लाया है। आप लोगों को ये पता होगा कि 5 अगस्त से 2019 से लेके आज तक कोई इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट हुई ही नहीं, तो जिसकी वजह से यहाँ पे आम लोगों में बहुत सी दुश्वारियाँ और बहुत सी मुश्किलातों का सामना पेश आ रहा था। खासकर जो गरीब आवाम है, लोअर तबके के जो लोग हैं, उनके पास कोई इलेक्टेड कैंडिडेट था ही नहीं जिनके पास वो जाते अपने मसाइल का हल ढूंढते। तो हम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का बहुत ही शुक्रगुजार है, बहुत ही शुक्रिया अदा करते हैं उनका कि उन्होंने यहाँ पे फिर से एक इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट बनाने का मौका दिया है।
تو یہی کارن ہے کہ لوگ جو ہیں جوگ در جوگ نکل رہے ہیں، اور ابھی تک ہم نے جموں کشمیر میں یہ دیکھا ہے کہ دو ہی پارٹیاں سیدھی طور ہوتی تھی، نیشنل کانفرنس اور پی ڈی پی. اب کی بار کچھ زیادہ امیدوار آنے سے اور دلچسپ ہو گئی.
اس کا تو ہم خیر مقدم کرتے ہیں کہ لوگوں کا حق ہے اس میں حصہ لینے کا. یہ تو بہت اچھی بات ہے کہ لوگ جمہوریت کو سمجھتے ہیں، جمہوریت کا حصہ بننا چاہتے ہیں، تو بدلاؤ کچھ نہ کچھ بدلاؤ آئے گا. تو اس کا ہم تہ دل سے شکریہ ادا کرتے ہیں کہ یہ تو بہت اچھی بات ہے، لوگوں کو آگے آنا چاہیے.
میرا نام ہے عادل نبی میر، ایکس سرپنچ کونبل،
کس پارٹی سے آپ سرپنچ تھے؟
جموں کشمیر اپنی پارٹی.
اپنی پارٹی. تو خاص طور سے اپنی پارٹی جو ہے، آپ کی پارٹی وہ 370 ہٹنے کے بعد بنی. آپ کی پارٹی میں لوگوں کو یا ووٹروں کو لبانے کے لیے کیا نیا ہے جو آپ کرنے جا رہے ہیں؟
دیکھیں سر، ہم بدلاؤ چاہتے ہیں، جموں کشمیر اپنی پارٹی بدلاؤ چاہتی ہے، اسی لیے آج ہم یہاں پہ آئے اپنا ووٹ قیمتی. جو ہمارا نمائندہ بنے وہ کل اسمبلی میں جائے. آج پانی بجلی وہی سڑک کا مسئلہ نہیں ہے، آج روزگار بے روزگاری ہے سر، بہت بے روزگاری ہے یہاں پہ جموں کشمیر میں، بہت بے روزگاری ہے. اسی لیے
تو ابھی جو ہے بہت کچھ کام تو ہوا ہے پچھلے دنوں کے دوران، لیکن
کچھ نہیں ہوا. جو یہاں میں ہوا پنچایت راج میں ہوا، اس سے پہلے نہیں ہوا. ہم بدلاؤ چاہتے ہیں، ہم ایک کو تین موقع مت دیں گے سر. ہم بدلاؤ چاہتے ہیں یہاں پہ، جموں کشمیر کے لوگ بدلاؤ چاہتے ہیں. یہاں کی ریزلر پارٹی نے بہت کچھ کیا یہاں خرابی. انہوں نے اپنی کو نوکری پہ لگایا، چاہے کوئی بھی ریلیٹو ہے ان کو نوکری لگایا.
So I can understand your word. Pooja, basically this is one of the issues which is being raised not only here but everywhere.
Ashraf keep speaking to the people, to the voters, their concerns. We'll constantly telecast it, and it's only in Kashmir, if you heard closely, that a voter would say, "Aapka khair maqdam hai ki aap yahan tashreef laaye hain." So when there's no conflict and the situation has stability, certainty and a certain peace, these are the words that you will hear from the people of Kashmir. And therefore now I want to go across to Sneha Mordani back into the studios, because Sneha will take us through the data about how it's been like earlier, what have been the percentage, vote share, all of that and more. Sneha, over to you.
All right, Pooja, thank you so much for that. Yes, you rightly pointed out the data is what gives us an indication about how things are and how things were in Jammu and Kashmir. So I'm going to first begin by telling our viewers how things were in the year 2014, the last time when Jammu and Kashmir voted for the assembly elections. The last time around, as far as the seats in the first phase are concerned, BJP won 6, the National Conference won 6, and the PDP was dominant on 12 seats as far as the first phase elections were concerned, the last time around. Also, as far as this time is concerned, let's just give you an idea first about the candidates. Before I move in further, the VIP candidates is what we are talking about. Ghulam Ahmed Mir is from the Congress party, was in charge of the Congress's state of affairs for the longest time in Jammu and Kashmir, and he is contesting from Duru. Hasnain Masoodi from Pampore from the National Conference, and of course all eyes on Iltija Mufti, the daughter of Mehbooba Mufti, contesting from Bij Bihara, which of course is and continues rather to be the stronghold of the PDP here. Now, as far as the valley is concerned, let's give you an idea about what happened the last time around. The BJP did very badly as far as the first phase is concerned the last time around in the valley. National Conference at 4, the PDP at 12. What about the Jammu region? That always has been a game changer for the BJP, hasn't it? 6 seats in Jammu as far as the first phase the last time was concerned, and National Conference saw 2, and PDP and others scored a perfect 0 there, essentially, when it came to the first phase of elections in the Jammu region. That continues to be the stronghold of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Hindu-dominated Jammu region. As far as dynasts are concerned, let's give you an idea about that as well, given that the BJP has been talking a lot about how 3 dynastic parties, referring to the PDP, the National Conference, the Congress, have in fact ruined Jammu and Kashmir, is what the BJP has said. Let's look at the number of candidates from the PDP 3, from the National Conference 1 in these elections in the first phase, none from the Congress and the BJP. So that's about it when it comes to data from Jammu and Kashmir.